business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse. Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Prampram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prampram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Tune in to On Point here on Star Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Saw the temple being destroyed within a few seconds. When I escaped, the building had just gone.
We're in Shimla, once the summer capital of the British Raj, the Queen of the Hills. But progress has brought pain to these peaks. Rapid concrete developments built to accommodate tourists. Unregulated and unethical, say critics. Roads choked with cars, hammered by heavy rainfall.
Shimla is crumbling. I mean, many of our villages are subsiding. Even where we have this run-of-the-river dam technology, I think we ought to have a completely different paradigm of development models in the Himalayas, which has to be quite sensitive to the requirements and demands of the mountain. The governments have to take a greater responsibility because it's what I call the planned destruction of the Himalayas.
But there is no single culprit, and climate change has played a devastating hand. Over 400 people have died in this state alone.
There's been extreme flooding across northern India, with rivers swept into towns and bridges and roads washed away. And this is the kind of destruction left behind. And the monsoon seasons are becoming more erratic and unpredictable, with disasters a lot more likely.
Preventing them is the job of many far beyond these mountains. It is majestic and ecologically fragile, a corner of the world that now needs saving. Cordelia Lynch, Sky News, Shimla, India.
Britain's clean energy ambitions have been dealt a major blow this morning. The UK's latest auction to run renewable energy projects didn't award any contracts for offshore wind sites. Well, joining me now, our business correspondent Paul Kelso, who was reporting on the expectation that this would be the case yesterday. So, but Paul, what exactly has gone wrong here?
The industry will tell you that simply the government set the price in this auction too high. Very quickly to explain how these rather complex auctions work, the government sets a reference price, the maximum price that energy suppliers can charge for the energy they ultimately produce with these renewable power sources. That's also the maximum the consumer can pay. In a functioning auction, the companies bid below that price. You get a strike price, it's known, the lower price that they all agree to work at. And then in future, if the price of energy is higher than that, the companies pay money back to the taxpayer. If it's lower, the taxpayer makes up the difference. It gives the companies certainty to build, it gives consumers certainty of price. But the number here was just too low. So while last year's round of auctions secured 7 gigawatts of new offshore wind capacity, helping the UK towards its target of trebling offshore wind, this year there was none. The companies warned the Department for Energy, they warned ministers the price was too low, they were ignored, and as a result they haven't bid. There have been some bids for solar, that's what we're looking on screen there. There's been a couple of gigawatts of solar power has been awarded and some onshore wind, but tellingly those alternative renewable prices, the prices achieved, are almost exactly the same as the reference price the government set, which demonstrates that whether it's onshore, offshore or solar, inflation is driving up the cost of delivering these projects. The price of the power they ultimately produce is still lower, and every watt of new renewable power displaces a watt of expensive natural gas power. But the industry and the government's net zero targets are at a turning point here. We now have a dead year, no new offshore wind capacity. The next couple of auction rounds are going to have to deliver twice as much as they ever have if the UK is to have any chance of hitting its target of 50 gigawatts of offshore wind by 2030. If it can't do that, then the overall, the big picture target of net zero by 2050, which relies on decarbonising and electrifying Britain's power, well, that's in jeopardy too.
Paul Kelso, thanks so much. If you're watching Sky News today, still to come, we'll be discussing what sort of monarch Charles has been in his first year as king. Streets turn to rivers in Hong Kong as the region is hit by its worst rainfall in more than 140 years, and a race against time in southern Turkey as rescuers try to reach an explorer trapped deep in a cave.
Go behind the scenes with the two women who took on the government.
Are we ready to do some marching?
Biggest day of strike action in a decade.
This is no way to treat teachers.
Just ratcheted up another few notches.
This is not over until you are satisfied.
Get into a room and negotiate.
I'm getting quite emotional now.
I think you should run for Prime Minister.
The deadliest warrior in the world.
The Gurkha warrior is about the British military, their heroism and their untold history. Around 70 years ago's history, when the British troops they deployed to the Malaysia called Malay Emergency. So this is the story about the film is about. Their untold history and their friends and families, their sacrifice, their wife, how was it like? So this is about the film. We are first time we are telling our story through the cinema. Of course, there are many books been written by author, as in like British author, and then also like the Nepalese author or like the other but first time as an authentic director himself. He's the most respected, and he's the most right person to for the film to bring out the story about the Gurkhas, and we wanna let many other people know or like let them see our history, and we wanna bring it. That's the plan.
Welcome back. Campaigners against the pregnancy drug Primidose have accused the government of using bullying tactics after being threatened with legal action. In a letter, they were told unless they commit to never making another claim, they would be responsible for the legal bills of the lawyers used to block their joint action. Our home editor, Jason Farrell, has this report.
For 50 years, campaigners have fought for recognition that a pregnancy test drug called Primidose, given to them by their GPs, damaged babies in the womb. This year, their claim was struck out in the courts, and now they've been sent a letter by lawyers representing the Department of Health and manufacturer, saying that unless they commit to never making another claim, they will have to pay legal costs.
It constitutes bullying and intimidation. They want us to sign a form to say that we will never, ever initiate any legal action in the future, no matter what kind of evidence comes forward.
What happens if you don't do that?
They will slap that 10 million plus on our families.
So they're threatening you?
Yes, they are. I am absolutely disgusted with our government. Not only did they damage us initially, but now they're actually asking us to pay for it.
Yesterday, the issue was debated in Parliament.
This drug was given to them by their GPs. And I hope that the Minister will stand up this afternoon and say very clearly, the women who took Primidose, whose children suffered, were at no fault whatsoever and should not feel guilty at all. The fault lay with the NHS.
This is, in my view, potentially one of the biggest cover-ups of a pharmaceutical outrage the world has ever seen.
This drug was used in South Korea and in Germany as an abortifacient. It was used to procure abortions. Well, what is a drug that will do that doing to a baby?
In 2020, an independent review team found that Primidose caused avoidable harm, suggesting that the government should apologise and set up a redress scheme. Well, the Department of Health did apologise, but what happened next didn't seem very apologetic. They hired lawyers alongside the manufacturers of the drug to strike out a legal challenge. And now it's the opposite of redress, the claimants being threatened with the government's legal bill. The government was asked what kind of signal this sends to future claimants.
The letter that's gone out to those taking part in court cases, I will look at that because I don't want to be in a position where people feel that they cannot get justice simply because they cannot afford to do so.
The manufacturer Shearing, now owned by Bayer, points to a report by an expert working group which found evidence did not support an association between the drug and malformations. Jason Farrell, Sky News.
Let's have a quick look at the weather now.
Warm memories wherever you go. The weather, sponsored by Qatar Airways.
The September heatwave continues, but things will turn cooler and more unsettled from the northwest through the weekend, with some thundery showers as well. Plenty of hot and humid sunshine will be around today, which may be hazy at times. Low cloud will linger near North Sea coastal areas, keeping it cooler here. Air pollution levels will be moderate to high, especially in the southeast. There's a chance of an isolated thundery shower towards the north and the west this afternoon, but most places should stay dry.
The weather, sponsored.
You're watching Sky News today. Up next, we'll discuss King Charles's first year on the throne.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse. Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Prampram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prampram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Tune in to On Point here on Star Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Star Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse. Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Prampram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prampram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Tune in to On Point here on Star Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Star Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse. Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Prampram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prampram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse. Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Prampram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prampram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
The best radio show. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
Broadcasting live online. Turn it on. Turn it up.
Show them you got the Coco set. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Harry Song, aka Mr. Songs. This is the Kingmaker Baba for the girls. We're here. This is Star Radio. Don't go nowhere. UK, London. We call them London for home. For here, we call them London. And that's how you know. Just have fun and stay blessed.
Hi there, this is CJ Buckman, your life coach. And whenever I'm in London, I listen to Star Radio UK right here. But guess what? You can listen to wherever you are.
The best radio show. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK. Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Smile though your heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you find that life is still worthwhile. If you just smile. Hey, this is Archie and you are listening to Star Radio UK and The Morning Show.
This is Starr Radio. This is UK. Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK.
Welcome. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
Enlighten your day with Starr Radio. Starr Radio. Radio for the people, by the people.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Welcome.
great, Jesus, and that's what makes you great. You hold the world in your hands, the hand that made me who I am. Same God now, yesterday, and forevermore. And that's what makes you great. You are God. You will never change. You remain the same to the end. To the end. You are God. One who took my pain, took away my shame. Lord, you reign. That's why forever.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Okay, let me say massive good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth, and those of you on other planets as well. I want to salute each and every one of you and welcome you to the Friday edition of the morning show. Today is the 8th day of the 9th month, that is September 8th of September 2023. Time now 10:45 from the House of London. And of course, welcome to Starr Radio UK and welcome to the Friday edition of the morning show.
Jesus, and that's what makes you.
From now till 12:30, I'm going to bring you everything that you need to know.
Hold the world in your hands, the hand that made.
As we say on this platform, from archaeology to zoology, from Accra to Zanzibar, is making the headlines. We're going to touch on it. But let me acknowledge my producer, Mr. Francis Guy, who has been pulling all the knobs and everything for us to be able to come live. And then to my colleague and co-presenter, Mr. Olayomi. Massive good morning to you, Yomi. Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, our money man. Good morning to you as well. A special good morning to all the way to my brother Felix in Aberdeen. Koviali, good morning. Mr. Malik Dramani Mahama, good morning to you. Mr. Kidiosin, I salute you, sir. And as some will say, oh, and sundry, I salute you. For those of you here in the UK and other parts of the world. But my Bishop Adesina, massive good morning to you. I hope you're doing very, very well, my Bishop. Anthony Adedeji, good morning. Aziz, good morning to you. And all of you at the RBS office in Lagos, Nigeria, I salute each and every one of you. Let me also say good morning to Pastor Mo and Pastor Emmanuel Chidi. Ulakunle, good morning. 10:47 the time. Starr Radio UK station. Well, I remain yours sincerely.
This is the morning show with Archie.
Okay, folks. For those of you who have tuned in for the first time on a Friday edition to listen to the morning show, this is how the program will go. I'm going to bring you the quotes for the day, the weather forecast will follow suit, then the travel updates. We'll move from there to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds this morning from across the globe, as well as Global Trotting. Then after that, exactly at 11 o'clock, we'll be having Mr. Olayomi who will be joining in to bring you updates from Nigeria. Well, 2 days on after the verdict from the PEPs, what has been the reaction of Nigerians? Has everything been calm the way they're supposed to be? Well, there have been some kidnappings and some killings in Abuja. We'll be bringing you more about that as well. Then the conversation continues until 12 o'clock when the lines are open for you to add your voice to the discussions. We continue from there to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe. And then exactly at 12:30, we bring the program, the first part of the program to close, and we'll cross over to Kent, where our money man, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, our money man will be promising that it's going to be with us this morning. So hopefully, keeping fingers and everything crossed, we might get him on. Okay, no. So the quote of the day says, whatever the choices we make as individuals, we must bear in mind that in many respects, life's tests are increasingly becoming common to all of us. So it's not only you that the problem is happening to. I might be going through that same challenge. But what do you think about all that? Starr Radio UK. Well, when it comes to the weather front, oh my goodness. Those who like the hot weather, they are enjoying it. But those of us who hate it, Boy, oh boy. I was contemplating with my my able producer, Mr. Francis Guy, whether I should put on what swimming costume and come and sit there. Maybe put on the vest and as if I'm going to the beach. Maybe that will help. Okay. Wow! So this afternoon we'll see largely sunny skies, although a few bands of high cloud might drift in at times, making the sunshine a little hazy, staying hot and dry. Tonight will be dry, mainly clear skies for all, with just a few bands of high cloud drifting in from the southwest at times. A warm night once again. Common temperature 31 degrees, the lowest 18 degrees. Pollen level moderate, UV level high, pollution moderate as well. But when it comes to the Saturday temperatures, apparently is tend to maybe be the hottest day of the year, and it is going to be 32 degrees, and the tops and the lowest 18 degrees. That is sunshine blanket. Then comes Sunday, another hot weather there, 30 degrees tops and the lowest 17 degrees. Well, so in a gist, that's what's going to happen for you if you want to know what the weather is going to be like here in London and the southeast of England. Of course, those in the north, there's going to be varieties or variables, some variables in the weather. So share with us what is happening and across the globe. Let us know how you are feeling. But it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. Let's go straight to your travels. So on your travels this morning, A13 and A4 has got serious delays. If you can avoid it, do your best to avoid that. Now when we move on straight to the underground this morning, Jubilee line has got minor delays due to train shortages. Piccadilly line, minor delays between Cockforster and Acton Town due to an earlier signaling problem. Good service on the rest of the line though. The other side, all the others, good service. DLR, London Trambling, London Overground, good service there. And that takes us straight to the river bus, and I can tell you shortly, good service throughout. The London Cable Car is also running a very, very good service there. And that brings us to the final segment of the travel update. That's the National Rail. On the National Rail this morning, the cross-country Gatwick Express, Great Western Railway, Southwestern Railway, Southern and Thames Link have all got minor delays. And that's why I will say once again, as I will tell you, say it loud. Yes, 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 yes. Have a blessed and wonderful day. Enjoy your commute for today. But you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the road.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Welcome back to the program Starr Radio UK. It's now time for Global Trotting. What is happening from across the globe? Well, when it comes to Nigeria, these are some of the stories that we're going to be looking at. I did talk about some kidnappings and killings that have taken place in the federal capital, which is coming. Where bandits killed 30 in Abuja suburb, about 19 kidnapped there as well. And Akeredolu returns now. Is now in Ibadan. That's one of the stories making the tribunal judgment. APC lampoons Atiku and Obi's opposition attacks INEC. And the insecurity experts fault defense minister's call for prayers. Well, we appointed you to see to it that we have peace and tranquility. We didn't appoint you that we have to be praying to sort it out. If that is the case, then we should get the pastors and the bishops to be leading the security bit, so that they are the ones who do more of the prayers, and the imams, and then they can lead us in the prayer time. But the defense minister had urged Nigerians to support him and other security heads in the country with prayers to succeed in the effort to restore peace in many troubled areas. Well, is it because they think that Nigeria is a religious country? Because, astound Christians and astound Muslims, there as well. Okay, and then there's astound traditionalists there as well. So maybe they're looking at it that, well, maybe we need your prayers to do so. Well. What do you think about that? Now, ministers laments deplorable state of Nigeria's health sector. And Akeredolo, we talked about that one already. The governor left the country some months ago for medical treatment in Germany, but it's apparently back. Article heads to Supreme Court, says his spokesperson, the SSS agent on illegal duty, opened fire in Abuja market, his fashion designer and sales girl. Interesting. Is it one of the DSS? So, being a law to themselves, doing whatever thing that they do, tell me about it. All right, now let's move on straight to some other stories making the rounds. Mali riverboat attack by suspected jihadists. The attack comes after an Al-Qaeda-linked alliance, the support group for Islam and Muslims, announced last month that it was blockading the area and has attacked. Now, Gabon Junta names Ndong Zima transitional prime minister. Well, they are naming everybody, making sure that things stick along nicely. Let's see what is going to happen there. And then Gabon Junta appoints, Bongo's ally, transitional prime minister. So, is what the opposition leader saying true? That, well, it's the same old, just another different or another day. Well, Ndong Zima, 68, had been Bongo's prime minister from 2012 to 2014, but had distanced himself from power, which he regularly accused of bad governance. So maybe because of that, he might put his best foot forward for all of Nigerians. Now, Sudan's army chief arrives in Qatar on third trip since war began. And Burkina, we are not enemies of the French people, says Captain Traore. And then please arrest opposition supporters in Ethiopia, Tigray area. Those are some of the stories making the rounds on the African continent. Yesterday I did talk about police suspending some senior police officers who were caught on tape, interdicted them. However, information coming through said that police has reversed its interdiction of officers on a late tape. And apparently, the one who went, that is Bukri Nabu, who said he recorded all the proceedings there and put it in the public domain, has now also been caught in a new leaked videotape about contracts, kickbacks, and police payroll. I mean, so what is it all about? Well, a series of new recordings have surfaced on social media, heightening the controversy in the alleged plot to out the current Inspector General of Police, Dr. George Ekufu Adampare. The new tapes comprising video recording shows the former Northern Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Bukri Nabu, in various conversations with yet to be identified individuals discussing several schemes. In one of the videos, Bukri Nabu is captured sitting in his office where an individual is accusing him of shortchanging he and others in the contract kickback scheme. My goodness. If you want to go to equity, they say that you have to go with equity or you have to go with clean hands. Well, he's throwing stones whilst living in a glass house. That doesn't pan out well, does it? Well, it is Starr Radio UK. In other parts of the world as well, Hong Kong hit by heaviest rainstorm in 140 years. My oh my. Well, are we seeing the beginning of creation? I mean, the Bible tells us that at Noah's time there was heavy rains for 40 days and 40 nights and the whole world was flooded and God wiped everything and started afresh. So is that what we are seeing? Are we teetering towards that as well? And are we going to get some boats or spacecrafts? Where do we go? Mars? Or my producer showed me some pictures of some of the satellites or the galaxy, and beyond the sun there are about lots of them quite interesting. I was thinking, oops, who want to go beyond that bit? How would you get there? You need a proper spacecraft to travel there, because by the time you get close to the sun will melt you. So you want one that when you are getting close to the sun, then your body start cooling down instead of warming up. Well. That's just by way of a joke. Now, that is reported dead in Mali boat attack. Now, Apple shares slide after China iPhone ban reports. The technology giant stock market valuation has fallen by almost $200 billion in the last 2 days. My goodness. Kim Jong-un reveals nuclear attack submarine. North Korea has not yet demonstrated that the submarine is actually operational, though, but well, they have it in place. And then J-pop agency new boss also faces abuse allegation. Now, Nariyuki Higashiyama said he could not recall if he had sexually assaulted Genius at the boy band agency. Now, if you want to, save face, why do you bring somebody who is like that there as well? Well, a year on, today marks the first anniversary of the death of the Queen, the late Queen Victoria the Second. King, but the King is remembering late Queen with previously unseen portraits. The King recalls his mother devoted service on the first anniversary of her death. And then yesterday we did talk about the absconding or the breaking of prison by one man, Daniel Khalif. But well, yesterday night, Richmond Park was a place of interest where the police were searching. But as of yet, no response or updates has come from there. I'm going to tell you more about that. But this and a lot more going to be coming your way. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to 11 o'clock. So let's take a music. And once we come back, I'll be bringing you Mr. Olayomi Koiki. Welcome back to the program Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in... Okay. Another story that's come from Nigeria. Report links declining business to inflation. Well, so if that is bringing inflation in Nigeria, what is the way forward for Nigerians as a whole? Well, let's enjoy this song from Pastor Theodora Boachiansa, the Theodora Gospel, and he says, "You reign." Enjoy it, and I'll be with you.
Jesus, every
your smartphone.
Only the best music. The coolest way to start your weekend.
Of God that never changes or yes come to an end, but every institution, every kingdom, one way or the other. Remember the kingdom of Babylon, remember the Roman kingdom, you remember that of Egypt. Do you remember that of the British colonies, the kingdom, United Kingdom of Great Britain, and everything that they did? Well, I guess a point where there is a time that you bow out when your time is out, and then someone else takes the reins. But when it comes to God, as the song says, his kingdom never comes to an end. That is from Pastor Theodora Boache and son of Theodora Gospel, and that was a nice tune there. But it is now gone 6 minutes past the top of the hour, and it is the Friday edition of the morning show. And I have this singular honor of once again welcoming my brother and colleague and co-presenter Mr. Olayomi Koiki on the morning show. And let me say, Yomi, good morning.
Well, a very beautiful good morning to you back in the studio, Mr. Archie. Good morning to all our listeners and viewers from around the world. And once again, welcome to the final day of the week on the Starr Radio UK, the morning show, the update, the news, the global news. But again, as the weekend is just around the corner, we will be giving you what needs to be known just before we go into the full weekend, as we have so many other programs that are lining up as well. But for now, I will return back again to you in the studio. If there is a lot of noise outside, I know you might not be able to see the full clear picture, but I'm actually sitting outside, and that is where the noise might be a little bit fluctuating into the program. But while you were saying what you need to put on, especially with the weather, I decided maybe I should just come outside rather than stay in, as the cooking is also going on. And you can tell when the cooking is going on, it brings a lot of heat as well. But for now, it's quite quiet. Maybe one or two emergency vehicle, and the time is just 7 minutes past. And the reason why it's quiet right now is because everyone has gone to one place or the other, and those that have returned back home from the night duty are also sleeping, preparing for the night shift. But apart from that, I could see a few individuals walking. I could see the buses moving. Once again, this is what happens for the benefit of those that want to know how the operations happen in UK. It's almost the same thing anywhere. But for now, I return back again to you in the studio.
Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK, and we can tell you assuredly that that is how the institutions work. Everything is taken along nicely. Those who have to clean the streets are doing this. The police are doing this. The health services are doing this. Yes, there are shortfalls. We're not saying that it's all perfected, but at least you know that the institutions are working, and therefore things will be tackled. But how have you been? How have you been, and how has the family been as well?
Well, it's the first weekend after the school resume back, and that literally means that there will be more things ahead to be done, to prepare the weekend. But apart from that, I'm doing very well, and it's good to be with you again. And just as I say, and I hope Frank is doing very well as well on the other side of the globe.
Yes, hopefully. All right, then, listeners. Starr Radio UK, the Friday edition of the morning show. Updates from Nigeria with Miss Olayomi Koike now in our North London studios. I'm actually here in the South studios, and we are bringing all that you need to know. So let's crack it. Now, tribunal judgment. The APC are lampooning Atiku and Obi and opposition attack on INEC. Now, does the APC want to say that INEC's performance was above water? That's something that everybody can clap for them, that they did very well? Or under the circumstance where we are, it's like the best that we've got, so we have to take it like that. Yomi.
I listened to Peter Obi yesterday. It was out just like I remember we told you that Atiku also had a press statement, and I'll be telling you more about both of them as we have it right now. Atiku has already said the same thing, that the election tribunal is not working. Atiku didn't congratulate Tinubu yet, just as they haven't done so in the past as well. But let's hear from where Peter Obi started from this morning.
Finally delivered is long-awaited judgments on petitions challenging the outcome of the presidential election held on 25th of February 2023. This judgment was delivered within the statutory time frame under the extant status. We acknowledge the court's contributions to due process and seeming attempt to strengthen our democracy. As petitioners in this case, we respect the views and ruling of the court, but we disagree with the court's reasoning and conclusions in the judgment it delivered. It is my intention as the presidential candidate and the intention of Labour Party to challenge this judgment by way of appeal immediately as allowed by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Well, that is, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party speaking outside Anambra, where he's currently. And just as he was doing that, Atiku also went ahead and said, Atiku have rejected the presidential tribunal verdict for the Supreme Court. I have asked my lawyer to activate my constitutional guaranteed right of appeal to the higher court, which is in the instance is the Supreme Court. He went further to say that Atiku, the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, has rejected the verdict of the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal (PEPT) that has now affirmed that the President Bola Tinubu victory at the February 2023 poll. While the court on Wednesday threw out Atiku's petition, he went further to say, the gentlemen of the press, I take a great pain to tell you that the decision of the court of the first instance on the matter utterly falls short of expectation. That means, whatever the outcome of the 5 judges, Atiku Abubakar is not pleased with such. I have refused to accept the judgment because I believe that it is bereft of substantial justice. However, the disappointment in the verdict of the court can never destroy my confidence in the judiciary. So that literally means that Atiku still believe in the judiciary, but it seems that the tribunal judgment, the APC is now lampoon Atiku and Peter Obi for attacking INEC. The All Progressive Congress yesterday slammed the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party and the Labour Party, Peter Obi, for criticizing the verdict of the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal (PEPT) that has now upheld President Bola Tinubu, that is currently at the G20. I'll be telling you some of what is happening there as the preparation is now at the final gear as the first president to arrive at the G20 in India. But this happened as Atiku and Obi continue to attack the Independent National Electoral Commission over the conduct of the poll. This is Starr Radio UK, the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. I will come back again to you now in the studio.
Well, listeners, Star Radio UK, Mr. Olayomi Kwekin and North London Studio Samachi, we are looking at updates from Nigeria. But interestingly, you and I mean, a few times that we've come on air that you've put a copy of an election sheet or report that showed figures that people have used pens to cancel and then change, and you ask yourself, this is just a simple mathematics. It's not even mathematics, it's just arithmetic. Okay, addition and subtraction, if need be, because it's just addition that they were doing there. So how come that? Do you want to say that the people who were working or who were in those particular polling stations or the collation centers are that daft that they couldn't add figures? And if they couldn't add figures, don't they have calculators to do so? So somebody says that if INEC, we want to say that INEC actually did a good job, then these are some of the things that we're talking about. I don't know whether whatever those reports like that, whether it went in favor of the opposition or went in favor of the APC. I don't know about that. But what I'm trying to say is that whatever performance that the INEC put across was beneath expectancy. Yomi.
Well, you're quite right. I mean, we've witnessed and we've seen election conducted around the world. We've been part of the observer where, right here in UK, when the election is conducted, we see the counting going on, and then the results are announced just less than 24 hours. And sometimes if there's a very tight, position in some of those areas, it could take a couple of days. I think, from what has played out from the judges giving their verdict is based on the evidence that the judges have received from the two presidential aspirants. And that again, is some of the reason why some have also come out to criticize whether, Atiku got, the best from the legal team that he has put together, just as Peter Obi as well. But one thing we've got to remember is that it took a couple of weeks and weeks and weeks when the evidence were presented, in the court. But unfortunately, the judges haven't seen anything different from what has played out. And if you look at, these particular headline, this is coming again. Your lawyers should apologize for their bad job. This is coming from Pandem to Atiku and Peter Obi. The social cultural group Pan Niger Delta Elders yesterday say that the legal representatives of the candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, and the People's Democratic Party should apologize to their client for the shoddy way they handle the presidential election manner.
Oh, okay, so as we say, I mean, when it comes to judiciary or the courts, evidence is the game. Maybe they couldn't present their case the way they're supposed to, and that is what has caused them to fall flat on the face. But, well, listeners, what do you think? After that verdict, 48 hours on, how do you see it? How do you think? Should these individuals forget everything and let's come together as a nation and rebuild Nigeria? Or what do you think about all that? Listen to Star Radio UK. Now let's move on. Now the defense minister has urged Nigerians to support him and other security heads in the country with prayer to succeed in the effort to restore peace in many troubled areas. And I was saying this morning, why don't we have one chief imam and maybe two bishops becoming the security or defense security? I mean, seeing to the security of the land. At least we know that they pray, all right? So we have the imam praying, we have the bishops praying, maybe the fathers and the members. They will know that, listen, this one, we're just trusting God. Now, somehow, God will send angels to come and be fighting for us. But we put you people there. Come up with policies. Let's see that you are doing something. And you say we should back you up with prayers. Yomi.
Well, security experts have now said that it seems that the Minister of Defense, Muhammad Baduru, to end security challenges plaguing the country, is now asking us to start praying, as prayer alone cannot fight insecurity. How and where was this said? The defense minister urged Nigerians to support him and other security aides in the country with prayers to succeed in their effort to restore peace in many troubled areas. Baduru, the Minister of Defense, actually called these while he was in Jigawa State. He said that the security challenges and the other aspect of the national development can only but ask for prayers to succeed. Many Nigerians do not believe that prayer will be the solution to solve the menace of the insecurity in the country. I talked about the president is currently in India and is trying as much as possible to bring investors into the country. One of the areas that the investors will be looking up to is the security. If they can be guaranteed the security of not just their staff, their produce, or even the services that they'll be giving to Nigeria. But what we've said so many times is that it seems that the governor, the Minister of Defense, while speaking at Jigawa State, led by traditional rulers, religious leaders, business community, and public office holder from the state on the visit, their coming was congratulated, and the minister assured of support. But the reaction is that Nigerians must have high expectation that you will prioritize and deal with the insecurity rather than asking Nigeria to go into prayer to solve the menace of the insecurity in the country.
Well, listen, it's quite an interesting one because those of you who are Christians who read the Bible, so you might have heard of someone, David's his strategist. His strategist is known as Ahithophel. Now, at the point when they broke ranks and Ahithophel went to join David's son to fight against David, David was so scared. Why? Because he know that the guy strategically will put things in place, but we've not had any of them putting anything to say that maybe it's security things they will not come and tell us. But if you are telling that it will need prayers, maybe Yomi is a religious person. I am a religious person as well. Okay, so we believe in prayers. However, maybe God will have to give them some wisdom about how to go about their things, and then maybe tell them where their enemies are, and then maybe some way, somehow. But don't bash me. But I'm thinking that they need to come out with ideas, something that we know that this is concrete, this is an effort, this is a strategy that we know can actually stop this insecurity in the country. I hope that you agree with me there.
Well, you're quite right. I think security is not something that we have to joke with, and like I said, for any economy to boost, though there are some lapses, I've been following the case of the young man that have now fled the Wandsworth prison. That again is a security breach, and we hope that he can be arrested as quickly as possible and brought back for judgment. But then there will be a lot of review. The reason why Nigeria has been in this stage is because of the porous border. I mean, even if we are having lapses, here in UK, where many, citizens are now wondering how the Wandsworth prison allow a prisoner to flee, the facility. Then the question is, how do we deal with those that are saying that they've surrendered, and then maybe they might just walk out from those facilities and nobody knows their location because there is no adequate check on them. Again, we're talking about our borders. Our borders have been left porous for a very long time, since independence, and today many Nigerians are concerned, just as you were talking before I came on air, as many attacks is still going on within the vicinity of the FCT as well.
Well, listen at Starr Radio UK. Just to link that up before we move on to some other stories there. Bandits in Lagos, my apologies, in Abuja have killed 30 and about 19 others kidnapped. This is in the federal capital. Yomi?
Well, when we talk about the attacks, yesterday I was actually asking some of our listeners and say that, why is it taking the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to really say the way it is and call them terrorists rather than bandits? There's two different words between the bandit and terrorist. Terrorists are terrorists, and what is happening in Nigeria is not as different from what is happening with the TTK, in Pakistan / Afghanistan border. It's not as different from what is happening with the ISIS and other. We're talking about the TTK, which is the Taliban Pakistan. But it seems that Bola Tinubu, the president, is using the same glove that Buhari has not been able to call them terrorists. and that itself is a big problem. And but today, we hope that Nigerians will be able to ask the Minister of Defense, while we must have to pray to get a better life and secure Nigeria.
11:24 the time, Star Radio UK, the station, the Friday edition of the morning show and updates from Nigeria with Mr. Olayomi in our North London studios, enjoying the nice breeze outside, broadcasting from outside, and then I'm in the studio here in the south, and we are bringing you updates from Nigeria. But let's move on straight to some other stories. Now, the minister laments deplorable state of Nigeria health sector. So the Minister of Health is lamenting that, and we have the former, the governor, Akeredolu, who has now returned to Nigeria. So the question is, if Nigeria's health sector was performing well, was in a good shape, do you think Akeredolu will have to travel outside? Well, I'm not saying that we can treat everything. No. Let me not say that. At times, there are some of the ailments that we need. The expertise are outside the country. Maybe we have people flying from this part to other parts as well. But so we know definitely. But when across board, the minister is now lamenting that the state of health in Nigeria is nothing to write home about, then we have a problem. Yomi.
Well, during the regional government, what we were told was that there was an opportunity for the royal family in Saudi Arabia to come to Nigeria, mostly at the UCH for medical treatment. But that has now been reversed, as we are now getting more of our politicians in Africa, in Nigeria, that are traveling, for healthcare reasons. The question is, can we really bring the healthcare facility to that part of the continent, and then rather than allowing them to travel, the Gabon family, I remember after so many years, the father traveled to Barcelona, died of a cardiac attack. We've seen the former president, Muhammadu Buhari, even had to be in UK to remove his tooth. And the question is, how much more do we need to allow such to happen? Yes, the minister, the governor, like you said, Akeredolu has now returned back after 3 months of spending taxpayers' money to make sure that whatever ailment that was wrong with him is treated. But from what we are getting now as well, we are now hearing that there must be adequate facility to look up to rectifying the damage between the general hospitals. We have so many of them that are dilapidated. We have so many of them that are not working as expected. Many Nigerians today will not be able to get adequate health care. And part of what is going to be discussed at the G20, while I was reviewing part of the preparation, yet there's not much agenda on the table, but 3 things will be discussed, and that is going to be the tourism, the health, and the finance, and some other global issues as well. The question is, can we have a tourism destination in Nigeria, just as many Nigerians are traveling to Turkey for medical tourism? That is not happening, and that has been lack of support from the previous government. But we hope this government this time around will do otherwise.
Okay, let's see what the government will do about that. 11:27 the time. Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, the custodians of the law, and especially those who are sort of above the law, am I talking about? The DSS or the SSS has got one of its agents on an illegal duty, opening fire in an Abuja market and hitting a fashion designer or a sales girl. Yomi, can you give us some details about this story?
Yeah, the video actually got to us just late in the evening. As we say, there's always a delay when it comes to the news updates from Nigeria. Yes, the DSS agent have actually illegally opened fire in Abuja market that has now gone straight to a fashion designer and a sales girl. What do we know so far? Trigger Happy State Security Services, also known as the DSS, have now shot a fashion designer at the Gakik International Market in Abuja while having an altercation with a tailor. You might wonder what is wrong. Maybe there is a reason for DSS, going into the market to apprehend, whoever they have to apprehend. But the question is, why open these fire that can easily kill individuals? Mohammed Abibu, along with some of the other traders and individuals. The victim was identified as Mubarak, and the viral video that has been seen by myself, where the individual was shot in the leg, lying on the floor, before the police and officer trying to quell the situation. It's not the first time. Let's take you back to the NSAS. We saw what actually led to military and other security agency coming out, not just in Lagos State, in other part of the country, and killing innocent Nigerians. Let's talk about the El Zakizaki. It's not the first time that the former chief of defense staff that is now been recalled, because we know that the president have recalled all the ambassador, and I'm talking about Buratai. Buratai convoy went through a parade of the El Zakizaki when they were having their religious movement, but unfortunately it led to so many people being killed. The question is, what more can be done, to stop such activities that innocent Nigerians have been killed by the happy trigger officers?
Well, that is a big question on the lips of most Nigerians this morning. They are a law to themselves. What did he go to do? Who commissioned him to go and undertake such a duty? Starr Radio UK, those of you on all the other platforms, we salute each and every one of you, but we're bringing you updates from Nigeria. Well, let's talk about the president's G20 summit, and has he made any statement apart from the one that he made during the verdict or after the verdict? Yomi.
Well, this morning I saw some of those industrialists that the president, traveled with, and it seems that there's already some kind of a deal, some kind of arrangement, MOU, as Nigeria moves the G20 bloc membership. Nigeria is now a member of the G20, so we hope that the president will be pushing for a membership as well. What do we know so far? Nigeria is considering applying to become a member of the G20 bloc that was founded in 1999. Economics, after concluding consultation on what is called the risk and the benefit. This is coming from the presidential spokesperson that said so on Sunday. We know that the president arrived on the invitation of the minister Narendra Modi, and we are also looking to see as many of what has already been part of the engagement. Nigeria is eyeing a massive India investment into the country, and this is coming again from the presidential spokesman Ajuri that has been speaking on behalf of the government. I have no doubt that the Nigeria-Indian defense ties is going to expand. The reason is because President Bola Tinubu sees the Prime Minister Modi as a great reformer, a transformational leader of India. This is coming from Ajuri Ngalale, the spokesperson of the Nigerian President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, speaking as one of the mainstream media in India already. Mr. Ngali said that this massive India investment in the Nigerian defense sector, Defense Minister Rajanath Singh today met President Bola Tinubu that has already arrived as well. So what the take out of this is going to be a lot, in line with what we are having discussion for a deal worth $1 billion to boost the defense industry in Nigeria. What is going to be the takeout? By Monday, I'll be able to give you some of what has happened as the full preparation kickstart tomorrow.
Okay, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK 11:33, and I would leave Yomi to bring us the rest of the stories that's making the rounds and those on the social media. Over to you, sir.
Well, as we continue in the very beautiful weather, which is still the last lap of the weather before we go into the winter period, it seems that chaos is already happening within the Labour Party, as the headline says Peter Obi siphoned $15 million, 12 billion naira campaign fund to help Aburi family. Also the IPOB. This is coming from Lamidi Apapa, the led faction of the Labour Party, has accepted the judgment of the Presidential Election Tribunal, which has already affirmed victory to President Bola Tinubu He was removed by the Labour Party, but it seems that the wrangling between them, has literally for some of these kind of information. Apapa, the led faction, disclosed the allegation in a statement by spokesperson Olayomi Arabambi, but the Julius Aburi group of the party have declined to respond to the claim so far. Let's go back again and look at some of what is happening when it comes to the business in Nigeria. As we continue to say, the economy of Nigeria is having a big toe. Forex earning record boost as trade surplus hit 2.22 trillion naira. But also many businesses are slowing down because of the inflation in Nigeria. Manufacturers pay over 607 billion in tax in the last 6 months. Is coming from the National Bureau of Statistics. We know that the president is trying to capture more when it comes to taxation in the country. But report is also linked that there is now decline in businesses due to the inflation. There's inflation around the world, but it seems that the Nigerian one is double digit. Activities of private businesses have now dipped midway through the third quarter of the year as the rising prices weakening, demanding, according to the Stanbic IBTC Purchasing Manager Index report. According to the report, input cost and output charges have increased to the largest extent since the survey. I was watching the news here in UK, and some of the charges that is added into the cost of our bills as well is worth looking into. But it says that inflation again has reflected higher in transportation costs. Many Nigerians have to continue to trek due to the fact that transportation costs have increased. According to the headline, the PMI dropped for the third month, dipping to 50.2 in August and 51.7 in July, and was the lowest in the current 5-month sequence. So we will continue to monitor as many of the businesses as well. Again, not a very good news coming from Nigeria. 2 people have died at the Abeokuta-Lagos Expressway, and like you said, another terrorists have burned a Catholic Samaritan to death in Kaduna. Some terrorists in the late hours of yesterday allegedly invaded St. Raphael Parish in Fadam, Kamatan, Kafancha Diocese in the southern Kaduna, not just killed, but razed the parish house with those inside. It was learned that while the priest escaped during the incident, the Dalami, who was the Samaritan, was caught in the infirmary. His remains has since now been deposited at the mortuary. Again, these are so many of the activities that is happening as well in Nigeria. Now let's take one more and then we go straight to the social media as it's just coming up to 10:35. Once again, economic crunch. The Nigeria Coronational Services substitute cat meat for beef in Maduguri prison. I don't know how they've been able to catch as many cats and turn them into the meat. It seems that the animal welfare in the UK will not be pleased with such a news. There's already they were asked by the newly appointed chief warder and the deputy superintendent Usman Boko to henceforth catch, slaughter, and eat any cat and kitten that they have come across inside the yard of the custodial center as a substitute for the government-provided beef. What a very sad one. Well, it seems that those outside cannot have 3 square meals, so you can imagine those in the prison also now eating cat as against the beef. Let's take one more, and like I said, this is still the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. Tinubu government, the Secretary George Akume has fallen sick and has now been flown to Germany for medical care. According to the report, the former Benue State governor was flown to Germany and had been in a European country for the last 5 days. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, the SGF, Senator George Akume, that was appointed by President Bola Tinubu, has fallen ill and has now been flown abroad for urgent medical treatment. According to the report learned from top presidential sources, that Akume, that was a former Benue State governor, has been flown to Germany. Remember that Germany was the same country that Akeredolu flew to and has now returned. Tinubu SGF is presently ill and is out of the country, and he has now been flown. So again, part of the medical treatment or tourism treatment that happens, as many of the politicians and government officials have the same opportunity, but many Nigerians do not have the same as well. There is a court-martial for 14 officers and 9 soldiers in Nigeria taking place in Abuja, according to the report. The garrison commander, in his inaugural speech, assured the accused persons that justice will be done to all parties. We're going to move straight to the social media, as again, the weather is really beautiful right under my head. As I continue to see that it seems that the Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, have now landed in Delhi. Remember that he's from India and is the first Indian heritage to become the Prime Minister here in UK. So we're going to monitor that as well. But again, as many Nigerians are still, finding out what actually happened when it comes to the outcome of the election tribunal, King Maker have now installed a pastor as the son of Ogbomoso, according to the traditional rite in Ibadan, Oyo State as well. Now, what is actually trending this morning? It seems that not much is trending, but it looks like Atiku is trending this morning. And like I said, so many Nigerians are still trying to figure out the outcome of the result that took place on Wednesday. Once again, Starr Radio UK, the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Wow, a sunny day here in London. Temperatures reaching up to about 29 or thereabout. Let me see in the studio. Yes, it's showing me that it's about 30 degrees out there where we are, but it's a bit cloudy. Yeah, Yomi is at a place where it's all sunny and he's enjoying getting some vitamin D in. You know, that is good, sucking it all in. But pretty soon we'll go into autumn and then winter and everything is gone. So now, Yomi, interestingly, the president did make a statement pertaining to religious attacks. But with what you are talking about, what do you call it, a parish where it was set ablaze and people in there died. I mean, what has been the reaction from the government or from the state government of that particular area?
Well, Kaduna is not new to some of us. That was the former Governor El-Rufai state, and again is the same state that El-Rufai stated in a video that went out, spoken in Hausa, that there will never be a Christian governor, in that particular state. Southern Kaduna, we know, is more of a Christian, but it seems that the state government have not been able to do much. One of the reasons why El-Rufai was not, from the Senate was because of the security concern that has happened in his own state, and he eventually pulled out as one of the ministers for this current administration. So the government have not responded yet, but what we can say is that it seems that the state itself would have to do more to prevent such attack. This attack is not new, especially in southern Kaduna and Benue State, where there has been a lot of attack. Remember that we had similar attack in Ondo State, where terrorists were able to invade the church, kill many worshippers, and left many in a very sad situation, looking after their health as we speak today.
Okay, listeners,
it is the St. Francis Church in Owo, Ondo State, Southwest Nigeria.
Yeah, well, sad one there. We say to those who have perished, lives have been lost there, our condolences. May their souls rest in perfect peace, and their families, we say our condolences. And to Nigerians as a whole, we say our condolences as well. Well, listeners, this is Starr Radio UK, 11:43. Yomi is going to be leaving us now. But before you go, Yomi.
Well, as we leave you again in the good hands of Archie to take care of the rest of the program, remember that Monday we'll be able to give you some of the highlight from the G20. It's important as the membership that Nigeria government is looking for. We'll be able to tell you more about that. We couldn't get any membership yet on the BRICS. With the membership happen on the G20, time will tell. Again, as many Nigerians continue to see if the government will be able to provide adequate resources to enable a better life, we can only say As you continue to move from point A to B in Nigeria, you have to also be very vigilant. But for now, the Star Radio UK will continue with Archie, when I'll be back on Monday morning at exactly 11 o'clock. Have a very great weekend. My name is Olayomi Koiki. Star Radio UK, the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Thank you very much, Yomi, and have a lovely weekend. We'll catch up later. Listeners, it is Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, where we bring you everything that you need to know, from archaeology to zoology, from Accra to Zanzibar. If it's making the headlines, we say we're going to be bringing that your way. But now, we're going to be having some music. This one from the Zongo Man. Okay, let's take a commercial break and we'll look at what is happening on the African continent. Then after that, I'll bring you the tune so that it will be for all that is happening on the African continent, right? Good, thank you very much. So stay tuned, don't you go away.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it, you're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse. Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Prampram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prampram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Tune in to On Point here on Star Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Star Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Welcome back to the program. It is Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to exactly 11:47 from the hearts of London. As I did say, I'll be opening the lines at 12 o'clock, so in the next 30 minutes. But we're going to be going to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds from other parts of Africa as well. But that will be after this commercial that I'm putting together quickly before we continue from there. So stay tuned, don't you go away, and let me say good morning to BB Clement. Okay, yeah. All right. Let's move on. We'll do our best to bring you that in a jiffy, but for now, let's just move on to what is happening from across the African continent. All right. So, in Mali, a riverboat attack by suspected jihadists has taken place and lives have been lost. We'll be talking more about that. And in Gabon, the junta has named Ndong Zima, 68, as Prime Minister. He was Prime Minister from 2012 to 2014, 2 years, but had distanced himself from the power from power, which he regularly accused of bad governance. Well, he saw that they were not doing the things that they're supposed to do and decided to back away. But now he's been given the position to do so. So they think he's going to do something different from what we've been seeing. It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And in Cameroon as well, at least 3 killed in attack blamed on separatist rebels. Now, at least 3 people have been killed in an attack blamed on separatist rebels in Cameroon's southwest on Thursday. Witnesses and said armed militants stopped cars, shot at passengers, and set vehicles on fire early on Thursday. 2 victims died when their car was set ablaze, while a third was shot. Now, curious residents gathered around the remains of charred car in the village of Moya in the southwest region on Thursday as 2 men pulled out a body wrapped in a blanket. Now, separatists in minority English-speaking parts of Cameroon had been fighting to carve out an independent state called Ambazonia since 2017. They carry out attacks, kidnappings, and killings in the northwest and southwest regions. The attack took place just days after school reopened from a long holiday. Insurgents began fighting the Cameroonian military in 2017 after civilian protests calling for greater representation for the Francophone countries' English-speaking minority were violently repressed. It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Looking at some of the pictures, it's not a nice sight at all. Why that is done, why they did that in the middle of town, that is another question for another day. Now, why has the Cameroonian government also not sat with these people, the separatists? Why haven't they addressed whatever is going on? But, well, let me raise my case. The Uganda says its operation in Congo have killed 567 IS allied fighters. My goodness, Uganda's President Yoweri Museveni has reported that since December 2021, more than 560 members of a rebel group linked to the Islamic State have been killed in Uganda's operation. This rebel group, known as Allied Democratic Forces, is based in jungles of the neighboring Democratic Republic of Congo. They have been launching attacks in both Congo and Uganda. With the permission of the Congo government, Uganda's military launched operations against the ADF to destroy their camps and capture or eliminate their fighters. President Museveni recently stated that they have successfully killed 567 ADF fighters and captured 50 more. They have also seized 167 pieces of equipment from the rebels, including machine guns and rocket-propelled grenades. Now, Museveni emphasized that the ADF is in a desperate situation and their only option now is to surrender. He urged businesses in Uganda, such as bus operators, markets, and hotels, to be vigilant and register all customers to prevent potential ADF attackers from using their facilities. Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. They are fighting that way. They don't have no helmets on, and they are in the battlefront wearing just caps. Interesting. Well, maybe this one they are on the training ground. That's why they are not wearing helmets. If they were on the battlefront or the battlefield, they might change their apparels. Okay. Well, still on the African continent. Well, Burkina Faso has come out to say that we are not enemies of the French people, says Captain Traoré. Now, Burkina Faso is not an enemy of the French people, said Captain Ibrahim Traoré, transitional president, following a coup d'etat in an interview broadcast Wednesday evening by Radio Television du Burkina Public. We are not enemies with the French people. It is the policy of those who run France which poses a problem in Africa. So as long as a state is not an imperialist spirit, there is no problem, he said in an interview recorded on the 31st of August. Now, we must agree to look at each other as equals, and we must agree to review all our cooperation, he added, without naming it. He criticized France for having given independence and placed people at the head of certain states. Now, according to him, we have led people to sign a lot of agreements which prevent us from developing, adding that imperialist states are not just France, there are others too, he said without quoting them. Now, Captain Ibrahim Traore, who came to power almost a year ago through a coup d'etat, also questioned the effectiveness of the presence of French soldiers in Burkina Faso as part of the anti-jihadist fight, which he demanded the departure in January. Now, Burkina has since been seeking new cooperation. We have new partners who support us in terms of equipment and other things, he added without naming them. The Burkina Faso's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Olivia Ramba, expressed her country's desire to strengthen bilateral cooperation with Iran on Monday during an interview in Tehran with President Ibrahim Raisi. A Russian delegation spoke with Mr. Traore last week in Ouagadougou on questions of development and military cooperation, and Captain Traore went to St. Petersburg in July for the Russia-African Summit. He reaffirmed his country's support for Niger, the scene of a coup d'etat on July 26, with which Burkina shares the so-called three borders area between Mali, Niger, and Burkina, considered a den of jihadist group. So, looking at the statement that he has made there, what do you think? What do you really think? You're talking about imperialists who always say, you know what, you want independence, we granted you independence, but we are pre-positioned this person there, so they have their puppets in various places who are running the show and raking the monies in to them. He said, you want us to talk? Let's talk as equals. You have a country, I have a country. I've got resources, you also got resources. Now let's talk. But will they do? So the French are seeing them, whatever hostility that is going on, as they being hostile to them and want them out. Well, they will say, we are your former colonial masters. Yeah, right. Okay, but still trying to control that. Okay, Gabon's transitional president, General Brice Nguema, appointed Raymond Dongzima, an economist and vocal opponent of President Ali Bongo, overthrown by the military a week ago, a transitional prime minister on Thursday, according to a decree read on state television. Mr. Ndongzima, 68, had been Mr. Bongo's prime minister from 2012 to 2014, but had distanced himself from power, which he regularly accused of bad governance, to the point of running against the head of state in the 2016-2023 presidential election. Now, General Oligu, who led a coup d'etat on August 30 against Ali Bongo, who had just been proclaimed re-elected in a fraudulent election according to the military, was sworn in on Monday as president of transition period, the duration of which he did not specify, and at the end of which he promised free elections. On Monday, he also announced the formation of a transitional government comprising personalities from all sides of the political spectrum. So I'm going to have the opposition, all the opposition parties being represented there. Are they ready to do so? Especially when one of them was saying that, you know what, I was the second runner-up, I was the one who allegedly won the elections, but these people were doing everything in their power to susupone me. Well. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. A final story before we move on to other parts of Africa as well. A passenger boat on the Niger River in northern Mali was attacked on Thursday by suspected jihadists, the Malian army has said. At around 11 a.m., armed terrorist groups attacked a Komanav boat in the Gomararos area, it said on social media, referring to the ferry operators. The boat, plying an established route between cities along the river, was targeted by at least 3 rockets which aimed at its engines, Komanav said separately. Now, there were no details of any casualties, and authorities provided no follow-up on the incident hours after the initial report. The vessel is immobilized on the river, and the army are evacuating passengers, a Komanav official said, speaking on condition of anonymity. Images on social media showed a cloud of black smoke rising above the river. The incident took place in a remote area, and the images could not be verified independently. The Niger is the Niger is a vital transport link in a region where road infrastructure is poor and railways absent. The attack comes after an Al-Qaeda alliance of the support the support group for Islam and Muslim, GSIM, announced last month that it was blockading Timbuktu, the historic crossroads city of northern Mali. The Sahelian state has been struggling with insecurity since 2012, when a revolt led by ethnic Tuaregs erupted in the troubled north. The insurgency was funded by jihadists who 3 years later took their own campaign into central Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, sending shockwaves across the Sahel region. In northern Mali, the regional rebellion was formally ended by a peace agreement signed between the rebels and the Malian government in 2015. However, the fragile deal came under strain after the civilian government was toppled in 2020 and replaced by a junta. Tensions in the region have revived in recent weeks after the UN peacekeeping mission in Mali, which has been told to leave by year's end, handed over two bases near Timbuktu, near Timbuktu to the armed forces. The handover triggered clashes between the army and the jihadists and led to an angry showdown with the former rebels, stoking fears for the 2015 peace agreement. So what is going to happen there? Look at all these people. Look at the way they've cladded themselves, and you think, what kind of world are they living in? Right, it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It's gone 12 o'clock, but now we've landed in Ghana as well. Let me bring you what is happening in Ghana. Okay. WAEC officials have been accused of intimidation while the candidate stripped half naked. And limited voter registration don't disenfranchise young voters, NCCE to EC. And the former president Mahama has congratulated the Black Stars for winning over Central African Republic. But please have a reversed interdiction of officers on Lake Tip. Oh my, oh my, oh my. So let me bring you more of that. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. So let's pick this one first. A candidate writing the West African secondary school certificate examination at Oforipenyin Senior High School Examination Center has been stripped half naked for wearing an unprescribed dress. The incident occurred Thursday morning when the candidates were writing an English language paper. The student wore white top and brown khaki shorts to the examination center, which angered an official to strip him naked by removing the shorts, leaving his boxers shorts on to continue the exams. The latest incident corroborates many reports of maltreatment and intimidation of candidates at the examination center. The candidate signaled out one George Ejekum, a depot officer who, according to information on LinkedIn, is senior assistant registrar at WAEC. He is alleged to be intimidating candidates, unleashing terror, and deliberately harassing them in order to create psychological effects on the candidates. Now, George Ejekum allegedly pushed and slapped a candidate over suspicion of attempts to cheat. Apart from armed and unarmed police personnel at the OPAS examination center, where over 2,000 candidates from 2 schools were writing the exams, some of the invigilators are also masked. The masked invigilators constantly stand on the neck of candidates, creating needless, dreadful aura. However, when the WAEC official George Ejekum was approached by journalists, he declined to comment, stating that he has not been authorized to speak to the press. The conduct of WAEC officials in various examination centers in the Buakwa North municipality in the eastern region in general has created nervous apprehension among candidates. Some parents are worried about the developments They fear if the intimidation by white officials are not stopped, it may affect performance of the awards. Now, is it one that Yomi was talking about, where people when exams start and the people, some of the students who are supposed to be writing that same exams have not entered the exams hall because they are getting a poor to come and write. They are getting the questions before they enter the place, solved questions. But if the person was just wearing a khaki shirt, the brown one, whatever it is, should that, I mean, that is not all that is important, is that he is not carrying anything that is not supposed to come to the exams hall. Or had he written the questions or the answers of the exams in his on his trouser or his shorts or whatever khaki pants that he was wearing? But well, it's interesting, cause we know that when students are left, well, they do all sorts to actually outwit examiners by getting all these questions, linked examination questions and stuff like that. So that seemed to be what maybe this examiner was trying to do, this white official was trying to do. However, I think it's gone beyond board, or it's gone overboard. But what do you think about all that? It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, now let me touch on this one before I come to the interdiction of some police officers who have now been uninterdicted. The National Commission of Civic Education has called on the Electoral Commission of Ghana to put in place modalities that will not disenfranchise young through the upcoming limited voter registration exercise. Now, this comes on the back of key stakeholders, including the former President John Mahama, the Electoral Commission of Ghana, urging the Electoral Commission of Ghana to conduct upcoming limited voter registration exercise in all electoral areas. According to the former president, conducting the exercise in all electoral areas will allow for easy access and reduce burden on citizenry in their quest to register. Now, speaking, the chairperson of the National Commission for Civic Education, Caitlin Addy, has advised the Electoral Commission to employ modalities for the limited voter registration in order not to disenfranchise qualified voters. Now, setting up IPAC was to try and resolve some of these things and come to an arrangement that is suitable for everybody. For that to happen, the concerns that are raised by all the stakeholders must be taken on board, and I hope that eventually we will come to the point, because the way I see it, it is not a concluded matter. The quote continues, there are still discussions and talks about it. Of course, we are concerned if Ghanaians do not go and register in every election cycle. The public education we do have a special education that we do for new voters, for people who have just turned 18, and for people who exercise their mandate for the first time. Well, so what do you think is going to happen? Do you think it's going to get they're going to be getting everybody or getting the various centers to also open for this limited registration, which of course makes life easy for somebody who has to travel, let's say from Croydon to to Tooting, go out of their way to say they're going to be registering there because they've not got any registration center for that here in Croydon. I'm just citing that example. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, the final story from the Ghana front, and then we can take a musical break and we continue from there. Court directs police to amend injunction. That's Occupy Bank of Ghana demo. The court have directed the police to amend their injunction. Okay, that is the news that I've just broken. The Ghana Police Service has withdrawn the suspension on 3 officers in connection with audio tape, which has become a subject of a matter of investigation by Parliament. Now, the officers are Commissioner Mr. George Alex Mensah, Superintendent Emmanuel Eric Jebi, and Superintendent George Lysander Asare. In a statement, the police administration explained that the withdrawal has become necessary in order to prejudice the ongoing probe by Parliament. One of the senior police officers indicted in the plot to get Dr. George Akufu-Dampare removed as IGP has made explosive claims against the Starr witness Bogrinabu, accusing him of setting the officers up as a result of a 400,000 cedis contract he has to supply boots to the Ghana Police Service. Now, Superintendent George Asari and the committee sitting in on Monday refused to speak to the aspects of the leaked tape, where he accuses Executive Secretary of President Akufo-Addo, Nana Asante-Bediatu, for failing to provide his boss with accurate information about the current IGP. Well, you see his demeanor during the hearing, and you can tell him that he is actually disgusted of the IGP, the current IGP. But what do you think about all that? It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. Let me bring you this story that pertains to the opposition's take on Occupy Bank of Ghana demo, which has been redirected to take place, I think, the 12th of this month, so in the next 4 days' time. The Accra Regional Police Command has granted a 7-day leave by the High Court in Accra to amend errors on its motion paper seeking an injunction against the minority protest dubbed #Occupy Ghana demo. Now, this was the vacation high. This was after the Vacation High Court, presided over by Justice Edward Chum, ruled that even though the application filed by the police on the face of the motion paper is irregular, the police has the mandate to initiate such action against protesters. Justice Chum on Friday, that's today, September 8, 2022, ruled that the applicant has not breached any legitimate legal provision in the application for injunction, citing security concerns for the court to strike it out. The court said even though the application filed by the police is irregular, such technicalities will not be applied, which has the implication of resulting in multiple applications that will delay the case. And following from that, the court said the police is granted leave to amend the documents and have same served in the respondents within 7 days. In a quote, he said, "In the interest of fairness and justice, it is the considered view of this court that technicalities should not be employed, which has the potential to result in multiple applications and the delay of the proceedings." Justice Edward Chum ruled. This court thinks it is proper to grant leave to the applicants to amend the title of this application to enable this court proceed to determine the rare issues in controversy between the parties. In the circumstance, the preliminary legal objection raised by counsel for the respondent is hereby overruled. So, well, let's see what the police will do about that, and let's see how it will all pan out. It is all coming away from Starr Radio UK. Let's take a break. We come back and I'll bring you what is happening in other parts of the world as well. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. If you want to join the conversation,
hi guys, this is your friend Uruj.
My apologies. If you want to join the the program, please feel free. Send your or just to call us or send your notes or your statements in, like Pastor Joyce Lawson. Yes. Bluffo, I hope you are doing very, very well, and the family as well. Salute each and every one of you. Have a lovely day, and I hope that you are enjoying the sunshine, right? Good. Okay, if you want to join the conversation, 0208-133-2257 or 580208-133-2257 or 58, or if you happen to be in the US, Canada, or the Caribbean area, it is 0017183032737, 0017183032737. You can text or WhatsApp me. Yes, it's 0753966174. Our Twitter handle is Starr Radio UK, and email address is info@starradiouk.com. Let's take a commercial break and I'll be with you.
Guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse. Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Prampram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prampram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Hi, my name is Bibi Clement, and I'm a global speaker in the areas of entrepreneurship and leadership. I'm also the author of the book How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur, as well as Wealth Creation God's Way. Listen, the future Nigeria needs future leaders who are collaborative, financially literate, entrepreneurially savvy, and have a global outlook towards life. But most importantly, they possess a keen sense of personal integrity and social justice. PSG UK, Peace Building and Social Justice UK, are playing their part in equipping such leaders. And if you consider yourself to be such a leader and you want to contribute to the future of the Nigeria that I have described, where peace, prosperity, and social justice are no longer the exception, but indeed the everyday experience of the everyday Nigerian, then don't delay. Sign up to the next online Future Leaders Building event. The details are below. Don't delay. Do it now. I look forward to seeing you there and welcoming you. And together, we can definitely build a better Nigeria.
8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Welcome back to the program. Yes, let's now move on to some of the other stories making the rounds in other parts of the world. It is a Friday edition of the morning show. In the next 30 minutes, we'll bring the program to a close. We're thinking, I think the money man is caught up somewhere, but well. Okay, if we get him before then, fine. If not, then the curtains will be brought down for the end of the program exactly at 12:30. Well, breaking news coming through this morning here in the UK. Yes, this afternoon says Network Rail has been fined £6.7 million over failings that led to deaths of 3 people in the train crash near Stonehaven, Aberdeenshire, in 2020. There's some stories making the rounds there. I'll be bringing you more of that in a moment. But now, Ukraine is condemning a sham election in Russian-occupied regions. People living in Russian-occupied areas of Ukraine are being asked to vote in what the authorities are describing as local elections. Now, Ukraine's foreign minister called the polls a sham, saying the votes will not have any legal standing. Candidates are all either Russian or pro-Russian and include governors handpicked by Moscow. Now, many taking part in early polling have been asked to cast their votes in the presence of armed Russian soldiers. Ukrainian officials have warned people not to participate. They say any Ukrainian citizen involved in organizing the election can expect to be punished in the future. The Council of Europe the Council of Europe, a human rights body, condemned the move in the illegal annexed Ukrainian authorities, Ukrainian territories, as a flagrant violation of international law, which Russia continues to disregard. What are I like the elections for? Voting for what? Referendum to belong to Russia or what? Well. I'll be telling you more about that as the days and the months and the years unfold. But it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK in Hong Kong. Boy, Hong Kong and Southern Chinese cities are battling widespread flooding as the region endures some of its heaviest rainfall on record. On Friday, streets and subway stations were underwater in Hong Kong as officials shut schools and workplaces. The Weather Bureau said downpour, which began on Thursday, is the biggest to hit the city in nearly 140 years. The emergency services said more than 100 people have been taken to hospital and several rescues had taken place. The pictures from the city on Thursday night show the torrential rain turning streets into raging rivers, flooding shopping centers and public transport as well. Now, videos on social media showed people climbing onto cars and other relevant elevated platforms to escape the waters, now which have risen several meters higher in some areas, blocking off subway entrances. The city's Cross Harbour Tunnel, a key route connecting the main island to the Kowloon Peninsula in its north, was inundated. The rain also triggered landslides in Hong Kong mountainous areas, blocking some highways as well. By Friday afternoon, the downpours had somewhat ease, with authorities downgrading the rainstorm from a black warning to amber alert, but they warned showers were expected to persist until Saturday. On Thursday, authorities had issued the black warning, which is triggered when rainfall exceeds 70 millimeters an hour. The Hong Kong Observatory later that night reported an hourly rainfall of 158.1 millimeters per hour, the highest since records began in 1884. Boy, oh boy. And what do you think is causing that? That is the question. But it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Wow, one final story before we come to the UK. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has taken part in the ceremony to reveal what Pyongyang says it is a submarine capable of launching nuclear weapons. Now, state media said the sub strengthened the country's nuclear deterrent by leaps and bounds. It has been named Hero Kim Kung-ok after a North Korean naval officer and historical figure. A nuclear submarine has long been on the list of weapons North Korea wants to build. In photographs released by state media, Mr. Kim is seen standing in a shipyard surrounded by naval officers and overshadowed by enormous black submarine. He's quoted as saying that the sub will be one of Navy's main means of underwater offensive. The nuclear attack submarine, which has been a symbol of aggression against our nation for the past few decades, now symbolizes our threatening power that strikes fear into our unscrupulous enemies, he said. Well, but you're doing all that, interestingly, and you have the people so impoverished, so hungry. But at times you ask yourself the question, like what is happening in Africa, in Mali and in Burkina Faso, where the Burkina leader is saying that, look, we don't want no imperialism, because it's like you've left us to, oh, now we're giving you independence, yet the things that you are doing is worse than controlling us. So what do you think about all that? This is Starr Radio UK. This is the morning show. I am now landed in London. I'm going to bring you what is happening there, and then we can bring the program to close. Last night there was a search at the Richmond Park, which was sparked by a tip-off, and the story says that the prison escape of terror suspect Daniel Khalif was clearly pre-planned and extremely concerning, the head of the Met Police has said. Commissioner Sir Mark Rowley spoke this morning on LBC. The force is exploring the possibility that the former soldier was held by other prisoners or guards. An overnight search of Richmond Park in southwest London also taking place. The 21-year-old is accused of trying to spy for an enemy state understood to be Iran and plotting a fake bomb hoax. The search of Richmond Park was not based on any specific lead or intelligence. A search effort has been scaled back. News saying Mr. Khalif, who joined the British Army in 2019, clung to the underside of a delivery lorry to make his escape from the HMP Wandsworth on Wednesday morning. Detectives believe he was still wearing his prison issue cook's uniform when he slipped out of the Category B jail. Sir Mark said the escape was clearly pre-planned. The fact that he could strap himself onto the bottom of the wagon, and it was unlikely to be something you do on the spur of the moment. Where do you go underneath that van, and where are those straps from? Which straps are you going to be using? It's quite a thoughtful saying there. He added he was surprised to learn Mr. Khalif was held in Category B HMP Wandsworth, and that a massive operation involving well into 3 figures of officers was in progress to find him. Well. It is Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. One final story, and then we'll bring the program to a close. Okay, it's going to be two. It's going to be two. Now, the Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, has arrived in Delhi for the G20 summit, a meeting of leaders from the 19 biggest economies in the world plus the European Union. He became the first Prime Minister of Indian heritage to visit the country. Now, number 10 says the historic visit will be a powerful reminder of the living bridge between the two countries. Mr. Sunak is accompanied by his wife Akshata Moti, who was born and grew up in India and is the daughter of one of India's richest men. Okay, the G20 is something of a diplomatic blancmange. Many of the members of it have very little in common beyond big economies. Well, this is all coming away from Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now the final story. King Charles III messages marks anniversary of Queen Elizabeth II's death. That is the story there for you. King Charles III has recorded a message and released a favorite photograph of Elizabeth II to mark the first anniversary of his mother's death. In the message, the king said he recalled the late Queen's devoted service and all she meant to so many of us. The photograph chosen by the king shows the Queen at an official portrait sitting in the 1968, aged 42. Now, Elizabeth II died aged 96 at Balmoral Castle on the 8th of September last year. It came just months after her platinum jubilee marked 70 years on the throne. In his short tribute, the king thanked the nation for the love and support shown to him and Queen Camilla during his first year as a monarch. Now, in marking the first anniversary of her late Majesty's death and my accession, we recall with great affection her long life, devoted service, and all she meant to so many of us, King said. I'm deeply grateful too for the love and support that has been shown to my wife and myself during this, as we do our utmost to be of service to you all. His written message, which accompanies the audio recording, is signed Charles R. That's Charles Royal. All right then. So listeners, this is why I bring the program to a close for today. As I did say, Money Man is caught up and therefore will not be able to join us this morning or this afternoon, as I've said. But for now, it's been a pleasure coming your way. I hope that you all have a very lovely afternoon and a weekend, a sunny one here. Those of us in London, yes, or the UK, where it's all scorching. Well, get to yourself some vitamin D as Yomi did this morning, enjoying all the heat. Well, I'm going to do mine pretty soon. But on that note, let me say thank you very, very much for joining in. Well, African leaders actually sitting up and looking at everything that is going on. Do we agree with what the Burkina Faso leader has said? They call him the junta, whatever they call them, a military leader there, where they say that we know what, we should talk as equals. But our leaders doing what will make us equals when it comes to negotiating? Well, I bet to differ. But enjoy this song, The Zongo Man. When it ends and you don't hear from me, it's been me Archie saying have a lovely weekend and may Nigeria not happen to you, as we say on this platform. Bye-bye for now.
The problem of Africa is the elite. Who run things, who run things, who run things. The problem of Africa is the elite. Who run things, who run things, who run things. Them all go to universities. Universities award them degrees. Big degrees. Degrees. Big degrees. MSc in stealing. Bachelor of Arts, mismanagement. Masters in looting. MSc in corruption, Bachelor of Science in nepotism, MSc in forgery, Bachelor of Arts in indiscipline, MSc in embezzlement. The problem of Africa is the elite.
Thanks for listening.